Hey YouTube, how's it going? Dan the Plastic Man here, I hope you guys are doing well. Time for a review. I know I've been doing mail calls, unboxings lately, so it's time for a good old-fashioned review. You saw me do the unboxing of this. I had a lot of fun putting this guy together. Here it is. From the Mobile Suit Discovery line of the high-grade Gundam The Origin series, the RX-78-01 local type Gundam. So let's get this thing spinning. You'll notice a hand is missing, as is the accessories, but that's just because... Sorry about that. The cat's foot missed where she was going, and she just jammed a needle into my back. Ouch. Okay. So, you can see that there's a lot of nice detail here. And like I said, there's a shield missing, and there's also a hand missing. That's because those are accessories, and I'll get to those in just a minute. But I'm going to let it finish its nice little spin around here while we just sit here and talk. I'm going to use one of the saber handles to show one of the biggest things I hated about this kit. And it's kind of silly, but at the same time, I figured it was worth mentioning. And let me squeeze this leg armor back together. And this. I know it's just a very simple sticker, but I'll be darned if I didn't hate having to put that on. I've not done the marking decals like I did on the test type Zaku, which I'll bring in a little bit later just for a good size comparison, since I haven't really done those in a lot of my reviews lately. But okay, anyways. So, also, I had a piece break on me. I was able to get my way around it, but I'm gonna warn you guys. This visor, the clear red visor, please be very careful how you take it off the tree. That is what broke on me at about where the right earpiece would be, if you consider them like a pair of sunglasses. Right where your right earpiece would start, that is where it broke. Luckily, I was able to sandwich it in there, and it... If I hadn't told you guys, you probably wouldn't have known it was broken. So, let's go ahead and look at articulation. The head will do a full Exorcist 360. Up, down. Really good funky chicken out of that neck. The shoulders, full 360. They will come up and up. The armor itself will move, but moving the armor does not really aid in helping the arm come up anymore. We get a really nice bend out of the elbow with some internal frame showing. There is, of course, the swivel at the bicep, and then the wrist is just a polycap. There is a nice ball joint here in the chest for some good ab crunch motion. Oh my gosh. This is why I don't like these particular stickers. In just that little bit, it had actually moved on me. Okay, skirting armor. These side skirts will move up that far, which will let the legs come out this far. The front skirts are connected, but you can separate them, so the leg will come that far forward with the hips standard, because the hips themselves are on sliders, so I'll show that off. And that is how far back the leg will go. The hips, as I said, they have a slider. Let me get this skirt armor out of the way. There we go. So now you can really get some good high kicks, and you can get a bit more of almost a jogging stance out of this, or a running stance. The leg will spin underneath the thigh, well, underneath the hip. We get a nice double bended knee, and then the foot, we get some nice side-to-side swivel. There is almost some kind of a flip-flop action going on right here, and that leg just popped off. I think it just wants to try to cause any grief it can just because of the fact that he knows he's on camera and he wants his fame. So, that is it for the articulation, and you can see the coloring scheme here. At least it's not the classic red, white, and blue. I'm actually very, very much a fan of this white and blue accented color scheme we got going. Now, we'll go ahead and get into the accessories. I'll bring the right hand in because that is holding the rifle, which looks like a modified or prototype of the 105mm machine gun, I want to say. It's either a 105 or it's a 90mm machine gun that the ground Gundam, the RX-79s, use. Same for the RX-79, or the RGM-79, the ground GMs. And then, of course, as you can see, the stock will fold, and that's just gonna plug in. Posability is more than adequate to pull off kind of that dynamic arm mostly all the way out, kind of looking down the barrel, posing. And come on. There. It's not that dynamic, but it's dynamic enough. And the gun also has this secondary folding handle. I'm not really going to use it because, as you can see, there's no real reason to. Okay, let's go to the beam sabers. I've actually got to pull them off of the shield. And here they are. Two very tiny two-piece beam sabers. But if you'll notice the notch that was in them, they can be placed here onto the forearm, like so. Which makes for quite the fun little attachment, because you can take both of your saber effect parts, plug them in, and then you've got quite a nasty little melee surprise. But I'll pull that out for right now. And then the final accessory is the shield, which actually has a kickstand option to it. I'm quite surprised that it does. Let me get this out of the way. Pull the kickstand down, and you can just set it like that. So you could use this in diorama form somehow, of like having the Gundam kneeling behind it, even though this much shield is not gonna cover, well, it could cover most of the torso if you could get the posing and the diorama right. So, let's pull the sabers off, because the shield does peg on here, as evidenced by these two pieces these two peg holes right here. Let me get that turned around. And then, most everybody knows, but what do you do with the sabers after that? Because they obviously do not plug into the backpack. And one tiny piece of articulation, I missed the thrusters there, sorry guys. But the sabers actually plug in down here on the end of the shield. So as a almost a precursor to the Sananju, with its beam axes closing around the shield for a nasty little surprise, you can do this, and that again makes for a pretty fun little gimmick to work with. So that just about wraps up my review of the RX-78-01 local type Gundam. And what do I think? I love it, guys. I mean, even with that annoying little V sticker on the crotch, this was such a fun build. Apart from the heart attack I had when I broke the visor. What I don't get is why it was a 2,000 yen kit. I know that's kind of what everybody's been saying. They don't understand why it was so much. But what I'm looking forward to is what they used this as the basis for. Spoiler alert, I have the waterproof Gundam on the way. It'll be shipped as soon as the shop I ordered it from gets them in stock. But the waterproof Gundam, or the Gundiver, as the box art says, is on its way to me sometime soon. So I will be doing a nice side-by-side. Speaking of side-by-side, that reminds me. Let me turn this off. And just for standard size comparison, I'm going to bring in the high mobility test type Zaku, just so you guys can see what we're talking about here, size-wise. And they're about the same height, give or take. I mean, maybe a centimeter or two, maybe a millimeter or two. Centimeters, sheesh. But yes, I loved this build. I recommend this kit. Get it. You will not be disappointed. And with this base color scheme that it has, the mostly white and the blue, you could do quite a bit of customizing to your heart's desire. And like I said, the waterproof should prove to be quite the fun build as well. But that's going to be it for this review, guys. I hope you liked it. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe to me, leave me some comments. I love reading them. I love getting to know you guys. Let's keep our community growing, guys. We're so close to 500, it's not even funny. So, take care of yourselves, guys. I will see you at the next video. Bye-bye.